Hey, YouTube people, YouTube people. I wonder what they look like. You know, sometimes I think to myself, what do they look like? A lot of people who post comments that are mean, they call them trolls. So I think to myself, there was this movie Trolls that came out, and I wonder, like, do they really look like that? Are they, and do they have the voice of Justin Timberlake because he played one of the trolls,
But not
right?
that, yeah, they're not that cool.
No.
No.
So I heard there's a rumor going around, Camille. Okay, a really ugly rumor, one of the ugliest rumors ever, that when you go out to Palm Desert, there's domestic violence in hotel rooms.
You know, I think I can confirm that rumor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, animals, okay, and this is for all the women, okay, but you women who are dating a man that is abusive mentally, physically, and emotionally, this is not something to laugh at. The last 2 nights of my life have been woken up with domestic violence issues. And this is like a really serious thing. Think Ray Rice, okay? You know, Ray Rice at least has come clean. His wife and him have gone to therapy, but I don't understand it. The other night, Friday night, right? 4 o'clock in the morning, my neighbors slamming the doors, screaming and yelling, literally ripping each other to smithereens, yelling, screaming. You can hear them being thrown against the door, okay? Last night in a hotel room, it was the same thing.
Yep.
You know, he was calling her a party girl. Well, dude, you're dating a party girl, okay? And then she was like, literally, she kept going. She kept edging him on. If you notice, there was like 2 hours of it, and she kept edging him on, you know,
Yeah.
almost like she enjoyed the whole thing. And I don't, what is it? I don't understand, Camille, what the hell is going on here. It's like, why do people stay in these relationships?
Well, I actually was in a verbally abusive relationship, and it's amazing how these we'll say the guys at least will just isolate you, and it's the first time that happens. If you don't leave, it becomes your new normal, and you forget.
Yeah, you said that last night.
Yeah, if you forget what it's like to just have a healthy, normal relationship, and a man who's supportive, a real man who takes care of you and provides for you and protects you, and this you completely forget it. It's a slow, gradual chip away at your confidence. It's scary.
It's amazing, that new normal, because we were listening to it last night, and it was just, it's scary. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, we can't jump in there. You know, like I said, like I told you this morning, my friend the cop said the thing you never do is put yourself in the middle of domestic violence.
Yep.
Because the violence then goes to you, because you're butting into their dynamic that they've created. Secondly, this dynamic that they've created is so unhealthy, and you're right, it is the new normal. You physically, you accept it.
Yeah.
And domestic violence is 3 parts. It's emotional abuse, okay, because that to me is equal to physical abuse, right? There's physical abuse, okay, and then there's the baiting that goes on, okay, which a lot of, you know, debating.
Oh yeah.
There are women that actually stay in it because they actually feel like that's what they're worth.
Yep.
So their fathers might have been abusive to them, or somebody might have abused, so they actually bait this whole thing. And I'm not saying, okay, please do not get angry. I'm not saying women get what they deserve. I'm not saying any of that stuff, so don't take my words out of context, because I know that you can do that sometimes. But there are women that enjoy this drama. They get off on it. It turns them on in a way that their wiring is sent that way. So if you are that type of woman that have been involved in an abusive relationship, okay, you have to think to yourself why you stayed, and if you stayed, why you stayed in it, and you need to work on yourself. Don't blame him, blame yourself as well, because there's always a dynamic that's going on, so you can cure it and not attract it again, because that's the thing, you want to nip it in the bud. You don't want to have this dynamic in your life anymore.
Well, and that's the thing, is your confidence is so low that when someone finally treats you the way that you deserve, you accept it, because that's where it is. If anyone were to come in and do something nice for you, especially a man, you wouldn't know what to do with that. You back away from that, because you're like, oh no, that's not me. That's for other women who have more confidence, or XYZ, because your confidence is in the toilet, and they're treating you exactly how you feel you should be deserved to be treated at that time.
Well, this is controversial, what we're saying, you know, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, it's like, look what they said. But I truly believe you attract exactly what you need to learn. Okay, let's go even deeper into the controversy. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying nobody deserves this, okay? You know, there was a great book, Radical Forgiveness, that I read that talks about, you know, children that come into abusive homes. The child didn't deserve that. No child deserves that, but it was obviously a lesson the child's soul needed to learn to do something. You know, this is where Tony Robbins says this too, where you are getting this abuse to do a greater good. So if you take the negative and turn it into a positive, all of a sudden, you know, you could be working with a domestic violence group. You could be...
Well, look at Tony Robbins. He was abused as a child.
Exactly. You know his story?
Yeah.
Yeah, share
Yeah.
it. So for people who don't know, because it's mother poured soap down his throat. And
Yeah,
so
well, she was addicted to drugs, and he basically, felt he had to take care of her, and was in a horrible, abusive relationship with her. Was messed up in all kinds of levels, and now has empathy for anyone that he comes across that has been through anything similar.
yeah, it's pretty amazing. So if you're in this relationship or you know someone who is, spin it to the good. Learn the lesson, figure out why you brought this in. Okay? First off, don't victim. Okay? You are a victim, okay? Nobody should go through this pain. Nobody should go through this. But instead of the victim mentality, figure out what you can do with it. What can you do with it? How can you prevent it from ever happening again? Because victim mentality just continues to perpetuate it, because then you'll meet another man who will literally go and do the same thing to you all over
Treat you
again.
the way you think you should be treated. And I would say, the key to this is the first moment that the red flag goes off. When we were talking about this last night,
Yes.
it's that moment. There's the crossroads, and you can either choose what's going to be eventually your new normal and probably get a lot worse if you accept it and stay with him, or you can listen to that internal feeling of this is really wrong, and it's only going to get worse from here, and leave and nip it in the bud.
You got some great advice. Tell people where they can find you.
You can find me at masterofflinedating.com, Camille, Virginia.
And you can find me down below by subscribing down below. We're going to talk some more serious stuff in some other videos, so hang in there. There's another one coming next week.